Please join us in our trip to Machu Picchu, one of the wonders of the world and a bucket list destination for a lot of people. We really wanted to visit this place and admittedly exceeded our expectations. This is undoubtedly a trip that we will always remember and hope that you can make it too, if this destination is in your list. In this video, we hope to be helpful for you in getting in and out of Machu Picchu, Peru. Welcome to the last boarding call.
Hello travelers, I'm Frank and I have a passion for travel and I like to do it a lot. Sometimes I travel for work, sometimes for fun, sometimes I fly in style, sometimes I don't. But every flight, every journey, every airport has a story, and I would love to share those with you. So buckle up and join me as we explore the world together, because this is the last boarding call.
Our trip started from Lima, where we checked out of our Airbnb at 2:30 a.m. for our 5:15 a.m. flight. Lima is Peru's main gateway, and where most of the people will initiate their journey. It's a destination itself, but we will describe it in another video. Lima's traffic at early morning is considerably less stressful than during the day. Our 50 sols Uber took us in 25 minutes from Miraflores area into Jorge Chávez International Airport. Lima is expecting a new airport to be operative soon, but not yet. So the small airport is still on and very busy, especially during the night. So please factor this in your planning. They are admitting only ticketed passengers, even in the check-in areas. Also, please consider that unlike other airports, in Lima, most of the cafes, food and beverages options are actually groundside rather than airside. We're flying Lima Cusco in JetSmart, a South American low-cost carrier, and their service is literally no frills. They opened the check-in counter 2 hours prior to departure, but the process was quick and easy. Boarding was called almost 1 hour before the flight, and luckily for us, we were in Group 1. We boarded the Airbus A320neo right after people with special needs, and we pushed back on time, ready for our 90 minutes flight to Cusco. But not after receiving a lot of Cusco intel from our Peruvian friends before we were going offline during the flight. While we enjoy the sunrise over Peru's sky, I would like to mention that we were very touched by the kind and professional behavior of the flight attendant, caring for one of the passengers with special needs. She did a wonderful job. Also, let's mention the cost of this flight. We paid $105 for the 2 tickets, but fares can be a bit much cheaper if you forgo things like baggage and seat assignments. It's just an hour-long flight. We enjoyed a nice view of the mountains before landing a few minutes earlier. And even though it is a small airport, a jet bridge was waiting for us to disembark. And right after landing in Cusco, we got 2 tips for you guys. First one, it's very important to have sols in cash from this moment onwards. We used a currency exchange shop here at the airport. And the second tip, Cusco is high and cold. We underestimated the number of clothing layers and felt dizzy and a bit off, right at the baggage claim carousel. Our bodies were adjusting to the 3,400 meters above sea level of the city. The sickness you feel arriving at this city is called mal de altura or soroche. Locals' recommendation is to drink coca tea to feel better and have some coca candies on hand during our journey.
Just arrived here at Cusco Airport, 3,400 meters above sea level. And I gotta tell you, it hits you. I've got, they call it mal de altura, something like altitude sickness, closest town to Machu Picchu. But the first thing, the highlight here is the altitude sickness. It really is.
Coca de altar. Tiene
Los
muy-
nombres ya son un tanto, ¿cómo se puede decir? Sugerentes.
Sí,
qué
coca de
chévere.
altar, qué
¿Cuál es el
bien.
mío?
Ese es el suyo.
Ok.
Y ese es el de coquita.
Ok.
Si gustan ustedes, acá tienen un poco de azúcar y este es
Yo
estilo.
le voy a poner un poquito de azúcar. Sí.
¿Cuánto te debemos?
Serían 20 soles. Si gustan ustedes también, miren, ustedes tenemos estos caramelitos. Estos son coca con uña. Son muy buenísimos. Justamente esta tiene la combinación perfecta, si se podría decir así, porque la muña sí es un digestivo natural. Ayuda bastante a la digestión. Y la coca, bueno, como ya se los comenté, esa vez.
Sí.
Entonces es muy buena combinación, una muy buena sinergia.
Qué bueno.
Si gustan ustedes,
Sí,
caramelitos, ahora para van a estar su recorrido de Machu Picchu, pues espectacular.
Sí.
Tienen
Sí,
35 pastillitas.
Ah, ok. ¿Y
Lo voy a
cada
llevar.
cuánto se toma?
Pueden tomarlo pues cada 20 minutos, cada media hora, es como los TikToks.
Sí, sí.
Ya, así similar.
Qué bueno.
It was time to explore Cusco town center while we wait for our transport to Machu Picchu. We took a taxi at the airport, and the general rule, hard. Always ask for the price of your ride, even before jumping in the car. If you feel like it, bargain it. Taxi drivers always expect people to haggle a little bit. In the few hours we had before leaving Cusco, we decided to give a try to Mercado de San Pedro. This is a local market with a lot of food and cooked meals, mostly traditional ones. Fruit, veggies, raw meat, condiments, juices, hot beverages, souvenirs, clothes, and more. It was a bit overwhelming for us because of the multiple vendors yelling their products and food. It was totally packed, even though it was only 7:30 a.m. We ate a delicious soup and a sandwich there, and decide to leave the place and keep wandering at the streets. And after walking almost 3 blocks, we found the beautiful Plaza Mayor in all its splendor. Very charming and picturesque. Its beautiful church, the fountain, and the special vibe captivated us. We stayed looking at the stone streets and the markets until it was time to go to the rail station. Unluckily for us, we only had a few hours to admire, but definitely it's a city that's worth extra time. Our time to get to Peru rail station arrived, and finding the office was a bit tricky. Thankfully, people were very helpful guiding us, because we failed to find it using only Google Maps. Funnily, this is a train station, but you will be boarding a bus. The Peru Rail Cusco station has a nice, albeit small, waiting area for general passengers with a little store where you can get some snacks and cold hot drinks. No full meals are available, neither sandwiches or empanadas or charging points for phones, laptops. So our lesson was to eat something before getting into station. Also take a power bank with you as a backup for charging your devices. This service from Peru Rail is called the bimodal service, which is a bus ride from Cusco to the town of Ollantaytambo, and then train to Aguas Calientes, also called Machu Picchu Pueblo. We were called on time for boarding the bus segment, and we were a bit confused and not entirely happy to find out that the bus was really a 15-passenger van. Not really what we were expecting, considering the ticket indicate a bus taking us. They didn't offer any explanation about it, and frustratingly enough, they kept calling the vehicle a bus when it was a passenger van. Our assumption is that this is a normal procedure with them when they don't have enough passengers to fill out a bus. The 2.5 hours ride was quite uncomfortable, with not option to recline our seats and very limited space to stow our backpacks. However, the views of the stunning mountains, the lakes, and witnessing the vegetation change along the way was superb. Really hard to describe. Even tough how uncomfortable the ride was. Bear also in mind, they only do one quickly toilet stop halfway, and remember those Peruvian soles in cash. You will need them for using the restrooms. We arrived to Ollantaytambo town with plenty of time to board a train without any rush. The van was parked outside the train station, about 10-minute walk distance from the waiting area. The waiting area is not too big, and it has a coffee shop with hot drinks and some food, like cakes, sandwiches, croissants. Also, clean toilets, seating chairs aplenty. But what called our undivided attention was the official clock, that everyone needs to pay attention if you don't want to be left behind by the trains. In here, you can pay your purchases with card or cash. Be careful because the waiting area and the shops are very close to the train rails. The gap between the shops and the rails is very narrow, so you must stay inside the shops while you are waiting to board your train. And it's only one platform, one service, so you won't be left behind unless you're not paying attention. We had tickets for the medium-range service with Peru Rail, which is called Expedition. The train, which has very comfortable seats with a table in front, big windows and glass semi-panoramic roof. We have assigned seats indicated in our tickets as well as the car number. The boarding was smoothly and organized. The train ride was quite comfortable, and we have the spectacular view of the river the whole journey. It was
Queridos pasajeros, su atención por favor. Debido a las condiciones geográficas de los valles interandinos, este tren se moviliza a estándares de velocidad permitidos, llegando a desarrollar velocidades que varían entre los 30 y 45 kilómetros por hora. Gracias por su atención.
They have the option to purchase 2 coffee sausages and snacks inside your wagon. The train attendant was very friendly and professional, and cash and card payments are accepted. Let's talk about the cost of this bimodal service while we enjoy the view from the train. For the expedition service, which is medium range, the cost of each ticket round trip from Cusco to Machu Picchu Pueblo was $136.80 US dollars. And when we purchased them, we compared them with $260 for the luxury service and $89 of coach class. Prices in the competition provider were pretty much the same, but we used Peru Rail because of the schedule were more accommodating for us. After 90 minutes of train ride, we arrived at Aguas Calientes, also called Machu Picchu Pueblo. Everyone must go off the train here, and if you arrange a tour guide, they will meet you there. We didn't have a tour guide at that point, so for us, was a matter of find our hotel to check in. Our phone's mobile data was playing up a little bit, so we asked one of the tour guides, which in a very friendly way indicated the way of our hotel for us, which was very close to the train station at only 10-minute walk. We got to our hotel's lobby and got checked in very smoothly and efficiently. Honestly, this hotel exceeded our expectations and got us happily surprised by the design, decoration, and comfort of our room, plus the amazing view of the mountain and the river from the balcony. They even made a special decoration in the room for Valentine's Day, and breakfast was included. I booked this accommodation via booking.com at $74 US, and it really didn't disappoint. Look at the view and the room, considering where we are in the world right now.
Wow. This is impressive. Me and my travel partner, we stay here. We're gonna be here for one night, only because tomorrow we're going to the Citadel, we're going to the Machu Picchu Citadel, but I'm still in awe with this view.
This was another great experience that we did not expect, and we lived it right after we started exploring the town. The very small town streets were vibrant with a lot of restaurants and cafes, offering an extensive variety of food and drinks, a busy market with souvenirs, alpaca products, and a lot of options for buyers, a multi-sport area, pedestrian bridges over the majestic river under them. We were mesmerized by the whole vibe of this small but great town, nested between the mountains. And moreover, we arrived on Valentine's Day, and there was a lot of decoration to commemorate the date. Lots of people on the streets, locals and tourists. Everyone very friendly and happy. Definitely a great vibe, and highly recommended to spend at least one night walking this beautiful town. slept very well, and the next morning we enjoyed breakfast in our hotel to prepare for the final leg of getting to Machu Picchu. Let's mention that's imperative that you buy your Machu Picchu Citadel ticket in advance to your visit and choose the trail and the hour you want to visit. From there, you will be boarding the bus 1 hour prior. Every line is easily identified by the different entry times. For us, the bus tickets from Machu Picchu Pueblo to the Citadel was not included in the train fare. But no dramas, since you can always buy it in the ticket office right beside where the line starts. They require your ID and the Citadel ticket to make sure you are allowed to enter, and the cost, not cheap, though, is $24 per adult. We boarded the bus on time, and you're guaranteed a seat since standing passengers are not allowed for safety reasons. The buses are decently comfortable for a 40 minutes ride, clean and well taken care of. But what stands out here is the skills of the bus drivers. Hands down, hats off for them. The ride climbing the mountain is very challenging and definitely catered only for very experienced drivers. That's the reason why only authorized vehicles are allowed to transit this route. The view is amazing. You can feel how you are getting higher and higher through the Andes mountain until you reach the Citadel. Let's talk about the cost of entering the Citadel. There are a few different trails that you can do depending on your choice. We chose circuit number 2 because it offered a tour inside the city. The cost was 160 Peruvian soles, or approximately $44 for me, but for my travel partner, we paid only 67 soles, which is about $18. At the gate, you are required to produce your passport, so please do not forget it. Otherwise, you will be denied entry. Circuit number 2 is the most recommended for tourists. It takes between 2.5 to 3.5 hours to complete, depending on your pace. Circuit 1 is intended only for the money shot, but you will not walk through the Citadel. And Circuit 3 is for a more hiking experience. You don't need to do the visit with a tour guide, but is strongly recommended. They are locals, they are very knowledgeable about their culture and history. They will tell you a lot of interesting facts about this magic place. Also, you will be supporting their families and communities. There is a guide for different requirements, different languages and groups. Our guide was wonderful. We were a small group of 6. The place was not too crowded due to being the rainy season. We wear ponchos during the first hour of the visit because it was raining, but still totally enjoyable. You can feel a special energy in this. We had a marvelous time here, and no wonder why people love to visit here. The views were stunning, and the experience was great. Not hidden fees or any kind of dodginess during the process. Very organized, safe, and easy to follow. After spending almost 3 hours in the Citadel, it was time to take our bus back to the town and back to Cusco in our bimodal service. Coming back down to Pueblo, the boarding is not by times, but by a line. The buses are filled out one by one in strictly order. The ride back is not for the faint-hearted. You have the mountain in one side of the bus and the cliff on the other. In this case, you are getting down very slowly from the top to the mountain to the base, where the town is. Once back in Machu Picchu Pueblo, we walked a couple of blocks to the train station back to Ollantaytambo. An easy boarding process ending with a comfortable ride again with breathtaking views.
Queridos pasajeros, bienvenidos a bordo del tren Peru Rail Expedition, donde podrán explorar la verdadera aventura, con destino final en la estación de Ollantaytambo, corazón del Valle Sagrado. Esperamos que su experiencia en Machu Picchu haya sido increíble y que la energía milenaria lo acompañe en su viaje de retorno.
We arrived to Ollantaytambo at night, guess what? This time it was really a bus driving us to Cusco and not a minivan. We definitively preferred this one as it is a bit more comfortable. As we arrived into Cusco, we definitely need to express how grateful and pleased we are with this trip. The whole experience was amazing, magic, unforgettable. This place will stay with us forever. We are happy to see that even though it's a very tourist spot, the Peruvian people are protecting it and not overexploiting it. They do take care of it and treat it with the uttermost respect. Things like controlling the numbers of visitors allowed per day, limiting the routes people can walk through, as well as the spots for pictures, reflect how protective and respectful the Peruvian people is about their legacy. Not to mention the strict rules about eating or drinking while you're there. Obviously, you can find the normal pushy sellers sometime along the way, but in general, The whole experience of visiting this wonder of the world is a very transparent process, but does require good planning ahead. In summary, these are the total costs from Lima to Machu Picchu and back. We did not include food and drinks, and again, we took the middle-range transportation option with Peru Rail Explorer product. If you are wondering, what do we do differently? Then we definitely spend an additional day or two in Cusco, and we definitely do not regret having spent a night in Aguas Calientes, because the little town really deserves it. Before signing off, and while we enjoy this delicious Peruvian dish at a diner in Cusco, I really want to express my gratitude for your support. Our channel has almost 100 subscribers, and that definitely motivates me to share more experiences with you. Are you planning coming to Machu Picchu? Is this in your bucket list? Have you already visited and have more tips? Please like and subscribe to The Last Boarding Call. We hope you liked this video as much as we liked our visit to this wonderful place. We hope this was informative for you, and we want to thank you for viewing.